Wow, big shout out to everybody who's been following and liking the George Billionaire page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on LinkedIn. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your comments and your feedback. Yesterday I did an amazing thing. I posted some pictures about my past, about 10-15 years back, a couple of pictures about, where I came from Glenora, and I got a lot of amazing comments. And it's so surprising how people think that, I've always been who I am. And, every success story, everybody's life has a time frame. There was a journey that a lot of people don't see. You see a successful person today, the likes of Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Oprah Winfrey, Nelson Mandela. I could go on the list. Steve Jobs, George Billionaire. I could go on and talk about the list of people. But one thing that you will forget and actually not realize is that they went through a phase for them to be where they are today. And if we some of the pictures, I remember I was watching Steve Jobs documentary, Bill Gates documentary, Michael Jordan's documentary, all these people, and I began to appreciate and thank God, which is why I posted pictures yesterday. 15 years back, I know where I was. I was in the high-density suburb of Glenora, where I was born and raised, and I was hustling to make ends meet. And I was just thankful that, wow, look at me now. It's none other than the grace of God that I am where I am today. And some people think it's my own will, but as for me, I know that it's God's grace upon my life. I went through so many things, so many hardships. I could have quit so many times. There's so many businesses I could have given up on, but all of those were lessons and experiences that helped me to become the person I am today. And I want to give a special big shout out. Growing up, I stayed with a couple of families that helped mold me to become the man that I am today. Growing up, I remember in grade 3, I stayed with the Chabikwa family, Mr. and Mrs. Chabikwa in Greencroft. They really helped mold me when it comes to marriage and some of the values. An amazing couple. If you know them, Mr. and Mrs. Chabikwa, an amazing couple. Their son Tawanda and I went to school together, and their family helped my dad. My dad at that time didn't have a car, and they said, listen, we can pick your son up and drop him off, and he can actually come and stay with us, so that and I want to give a big shout out to them, because they really helped me. Seeing that couple do what they do, the whole bad thing together, there's so many things that I learned, and how they just stayed together as a family helped me change my mind. I'll get into this when I go into exposure. Big shout out to also Raymond Munengwa. Raymond is my dad's younger brother. I stayed with him as well in Avondale, and a big shout out to him. He accommodated us with his family, with all my brothers and sisters, and big shout out to you. I appreciate and I love you. Thank you so much. And I also want to appreciate Mr. and Mrs. Marimo. Big shout out to them. My best friend Tino and I were good friends at St. George's College from Form 1 up to 4, and we were in what's called the special class, which was set 5, which was the last set, which was called the No Hope Squad, the NHS. So me and Tino were said to be special because we didn't love books as much as other kids did. So we were in the last class, and people thought we were dumb, but we loved our sport. I loved soccer, basketball. I loved being called up at assembly that George and Tino made first team soccer, and blah 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 blah, and all this, and that's what we liked. And we really didn't have that much zeal in school, which is what made me fail my O levels. But big shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Marimo. They really are a pivotal role that molded me to become the person that I am. Now, these 3 families got me exposed. Remember, I grew up in the high density suburb. I always relate to this in the book that I'm writing, that Moses understood what the palace looked like because he went to the palace and he saw what it was like, the lavish life. And Moses in the Bible could only take his people out of captivity because he understood what freedom and the good life was like. So for me, having stayed in Greencroft, in Avondale, in Eastleigh with these families, I got exposed so much that when I went back to Glenora, which is where I grew up, I was like, this is not life. There's so much more to life than this. When I was at their house, they got TVs everywhere, they got cars, they've got so much. There's more to life. And because of that, my mind was opened up that even though I was in the ghetto, even though I was in the high density suburb, my mind was not there anymore, because I was provoked to say, wait a minute, if they can have this type of lifestyle, surely I can be able to live a life like that. So I never got rest because of the exposure that I saw. I saw how, I remember at the Marimo family, how the mom would travel. If I know a hard-working woman, it's Constance Marimo. I love her so much. She's got such a hard work ethic, and every single thing that she has, for anybody who knows her for the past 2 or even 3 decades that she's been in business, consistently, she is a well-known, established, rooted business in the economy of Zimbabwe that is unshaken. She is a legend in business. There are very few women who've been in business that long, who diversified, but still remained so strong in whatever industry she's done. She's done hair salons, she's done clothing, she's done hair, she's done now recently Remos for kids. She's done so much, and I salute her. Like I say, I've had so many mentors in my life, but these are some of the unsung heroes that helped mold me become the man that I am at a young age. Before I knew about mentors, these are people who exposed me to certain things in my life that got me to think differently compared to everybody else. So I will always constantly salute her, and because of that exposure that I got, I wanted more and more. And this is what led me to being the person that I am. I mean, my first job was in an internet cafe. My second job was hustling at Zimex Mall. I did that for about 1.5 years until I got back to formal employment. Then I got to Wallace Boutique. Before Wallace, I worked at the candy shop with Danford Giro. Then I went to Wallace Boutique, where I worked in the salon, in the clothing shop. And those are all amazing memories. And I remember the time I used to work at Wallace, I used to stay at their house, and I used to wake up early. She'd be like, George, you have to go to work early. And my first job at Wallace I was the guy who used to clean the floors, and we'd have to count the number of tops in the shop. I mean, there were plenty tops. Some of them would be 1,000 plus in every morning and day, and you had to count how many there were. But those business principles at an early age taught me how to start from the bottom, how to appreciate hard work. I would get paid like every normal person, and it was tough waking up early, going to work. But looking at it now, it's helped me become the disciplined, focused person that I am. Why am I telling you all of this today? I just want to say, people think success comes easy, but a lot of people don't know the stories behind people's successes. I've tried so many things. Back in Glenora, I wanted to open a phone shop, and that's when Muramba Trina happened, and they demolished all those things after I'd hustled so much at Cimex Mall. I used to have a CD burning business, as much as it's not allowed and whatever. I used to burn CDs, because remember, my first job was an internet cafe, and that's what I did. I used to burn CDs and sell them to people in the neighborhood. So I had a company called Big Baller Burners, which used to sell CDs. I worked at a company called The Paint People, a family business. Big shout out to my brother Ignatius and Ernesto, where I worked there for a good 2-3 years. And I remember those were tough times. I didn't have a car then, and I had to do quotations all over Harare. I I had to go to people's houses and quote, and when we were painting, I had to constantly go on sites to check. It was tough. And when I look at it now with what I'm doing with Pro Air, this beautiful red, blue, white baby, the lessons I have learned in the various institutions that I have been in were not easy. For you watching this, nothing comes easy. Some of the hardships, I got fired at so many places I used to work at because for no reason I get fired. Once I was blamed for stealing money, and I didn't. Once a friend came back and it's like, my best friend is back, sorry, you have to go, I can't have 2 reps. It was hard, but all it was doing at that time was pushing me towards the direction I was supposed to go. And at times when hard things happen, we may think, wow, this is the end of the world. But I'm here to tell you that my life, I've always wanted to put it out on Facebook, on social media platforms, to get people to understand that nothing comes easy. You're never gonna get everything on a silver platter and it's gonna come easy. You have to go through persecution. You have to go through tough times. You have to be dismissed unfairly. You have to have people who are gonna let you down. I remember when I started Pro Air, I had very close friends and family involved in the business. Until a time something happened, and because I didn't believe in what they were doing and they were misrepresenting the brand, I had to let them go. Sometimes the people you start with aren't the people you end up with. And the most important thing that you have to have is the vision inside you. Your best friends will not support your business. Your family will talk bad about you. Your friends will go behind your back and say, that guy's crazy. But until you are obsessed, crazy in love with what you do, and you work hard on it, you keep pushing, you keep hammering it in, it's not gonna work. So many people used to say, George, you post too much. George, you take too many pictures. George, you do this. George, you're talking on and on about Pro Air. George, I don't think this is gonna work. Stay in business. My own dad, I always talk about this. We laugh about with my dad now. But people are there to try and keep you in a comfort zone. But if ever you're going to be supernatural, if ever you're going to be what God purposed you to do, you're not going to do what others are doing. You'll do what others are not doing so that you get what others don't have. But if you live in the comfort zone where your dad, your mom, your friends, your brother, your sister did, you're never going to be remembered in history. You're never going to accomplish a third or even a tenth of what they did. But if you become a maverick, go and look for the word maverick. If you are going to become a rebel, go and look for the word rebel. If you are going to become unique, different, set apart, you are going to be what God purposed you to be. So many people are conformed to this world by what people think. If you know me, I'm one person who is a total rebel. I do not go against the status quo. I don't do what other people don't do. I go against the tide. I don't want it easy. I'll do things differently. I'll make sure that our marketing campaigns, the way we're branded, the way we dress, the way we act, the way our buses, our webs, every single thing that we do is different. I don't want to be the ordinary. I want you to stick and be like, wow, I like that. But that's being different. And being different is what makes you stick out. So if you're going to be conformed by what your dad, your mom, your uncle, your auntie tell you to do, especially those who are studying in school, follow your gut. Don't do things to please your parents. Don't do things to please your uncle, your friend, your mom, your pastor. Don't do things to please people. Let people understand who you are. I love the story of one of my favorite soccer players, Cristiano Ronaldo, who I'm going to be seeing very soon. I love his story and where he came from. And his father supported him at a very young age for him to being who he is supposed to be today. I love the story of Bill Gates. People need to support you for you to get where you're going. If people don't support you, I talk about OPP. only positive people. If people ain't supporting you, if they ain't positive towards your vision and what you want to become, cut them out of your life totally. I talk about this when my dad told me, resigning from my former employment before I started Pro-Am, because he had a dream that he saw me in tattered clothes. And I told him, Dad, straight up, no beef. Next time you have a dream, don't tell me about it. If it's positive, thumbs up. If it's not, don't. I don't want anybody blowing off my candle. And I remember for a time, because I hate negative energy, we didn't talk for a while, not too long, for a while, because that's me. I love positive people. If you know me and you know my friends, if you begin to talk negatively, that's it, I'm out. I love positive vibes. I love positive energy, because positive energy breeds positive results. If you're always going to be speaking negatively, nothing positive is going to happen in your life. Therefore, you have to be positive. Today, my topic was success is not what it looks like. Success isn't what people see. A tree behind me planted was once underground. But what happened to the tree? For a season it was underground. People thought nothing was happening until it started germinating. It didn't become that big behind me like it is when it began. So is it with success. Success is a journey. Success takes time. Success isn't just gonna happen overnight. Success is something that's gonna take time, that you're gonna have to build up and keep on going and focus on. And you have to water your own plant. Whatever business, industry, field, profession you are studying, you have to put in extra time for you to become what you were destined and purposed to be. So wherever you are, remember, all of us were sent on this planet to grow. There's nothing else on this planet that was created. Everything was created to grow, including you. All of us are there to grow. A seed grows, a human being grows, and you grow by what you feed your mind with. The exposure I got from the 3 people I spoke about earlier on helped me begin to grow, because it made me see different things, and those things helped me to see, wow, there's a bigger life out there. And because I had great and big ambitions, things began to change in my life, because when I went back to the high density suburb, I was not the same person. I had to be exposed for me to see the bigger picture. So to everybody who's out there, big shout out to you and you and you. I hope this video did something to you, inside you, to tell you that success is not what it looks like. People think it's a straight line, but there's a lot of zigzags, ups and downs, heartbreaks, relationships, letdowns from the closest people, and sometimes it's painful. But at the end of the day, it's about what you believe inside your heart. It's about what you want to become. I am what I am today because of the information, the things that I have believed in, and the hard work ethic I have put for me to become where I am today. Nothing comes easy, and to everybody who's watching, remember, you have to stay true to that one thing that you love to do. Don't do things to please people. Do things that you love. We're not here by accident. I say this all the time. We're here to fulfill a divine mandate that God gave us to do. And one of my mandates is to provoke, inspire, and equip people through speaking, through my life testimony. The other is to make the weather behave in people's cars, homes, offices, as Pro-Air. There's so many things that I do. The other is to help businesses market themselves and get known and be seen. The other is to help organizations with team building, sales presentations, through the experiences that I've learned that will help businesses become what they're supposed to become. The other for me is career guidance. I've got a mentorship class which I help young people in schools, business people who just started, entrepreneurs or business owners, to understand how to get relevance in the marketplace where they are. So there's so many things that even you were destined to do in your life. But for me, I had to stay true to this one thing first. And this one thing has made people get to know me. And then now I can do so many things because I've done this successfully over the past 6 years. A business takes time for it to be established. And it will definitely take you time. But never give up in whatever you're doing and stay true to the cause. It's your boy George Billionaire. God bless you. Comment below with what you learned from this video. You're gonna help somebody else who's gonna watch it. Stay true to what you do. God bless you, and I'm out.